every day will not be the same day, same state of mind. It always changes because we have stages which distract the mind. So usually there are five stages of the mind. Sometimes these are kshipta, vikshipta, mood, ekagra, and niruddha. So sometimes kshipta means unstable mind, and vikshipta means which is unstable, but there is an inner call. Means these types of people can hear the inner soul sound. Means sometimes it may happen with you also. If you are doing something wrong, something from inside will tell you, oh, this is wrong. That is a different thing, that because of the pleasure or because of the mental patterns we ignore such calls, but you can hear, you know that you are doing wrong. This is called vikshipta people. That's why majority of people in the world, they are vikshipta. Kshipta is the one who doesn't know what is right, what is wrong. And the third is moodha. This is the lowest one. Mood means fully ignorant guy. And then ekagra and niruddha. So these are the five mental behaviors, five mental stages. And every one of us, every day, these are fluctuating. And even during the day also, many times you are very focused actually, ekagra. But many times we are ignoring. When emotions are overcoming, emotions are dominating, that time we are fully moodha. This is called moodha. When someone is only following the instinct, this is called moodha. For example, animals, moodha. These days, many incidents are happening when we are following our senses, desire, fulfilling the desire, so we are taking the actions accordingly. This is called moodha. Means when you are fully, emotions are leading the actions. Such kind of person called moodha. Do you get what I'm saying? Everyone understand? So these are the five stages, and every day it's different. And in Bhagavad Gita, Arjun, before he wants to receive the knowledge, because he was fully ignorant at that time, because the emotions are fully covering his intellect, because he was a very knowledgeable guy. And not only knowledgeable, very sensory controlled guy, but the senses are not active when the emotions are dominating. Even in his condition, such sadhak, such practitioner who has a strong mastery on ekagra. There's one story about him that he could, from long distance, he could just, hunt any animal or anything just by hearing the sound. That much powerful focus, this guy. He trained himself. He used to practice day and night. So because of that, he had a mastery over sleep also. So because of that, one of his name is also Gudakesh, the person who has mastery over sleep. So even in this guy, emotions when it came, so he also got distracted. So if Arjun can be, so who we are, because our practice is not that strong like him, day and night, and not that much ekagra focus. So that's why he is also moodha at that time. So there's a beautiful explanation in Bhagavad Gita about moodha. Who is moodha? So sometimes we are mood means when we are mostly fully covered with emotions. It's called mood vyakti, mood person. So before receiving the knowledge, he is accepting it that I am moodha. Because to accept I am moodha for such kind of person, Arjun, who is a warrior and the only warrior at that time period, the powerful warrior who has a name everywhere, and this guy can have this, he can accept himself that I am moodha. So whenever such situation comes in you that sometimes you're practicing, because one of the question was that someday I'm not able to practice the same, or this time I'm not able to practice the same as it was before, or some days I'm not able to focus it was before. Because right now the state is moodha, and to accept that before the knowledge will appear or shine you, acceptance is important, that I'm moodha today. That's why Arjun also, before he asked Krishna, he's saying that I'm completely mood. I forgot my knowledge. I don't have any knowledge. I'm a full mudha. Karpanya doshopahatat swabhavaha. My swabhav, my behavior has changed completely. The behavior which I developed since past many whole life, I dedicated to the sadhana. But still, karpanya doshopahatat swabhava. Prakshami tvam dharma sa mood cheta. I became mood today because after all the sadhana I have done in my life, strong sadhana actually, day and night, but still I'm not able to manage my emotions today. So I am a mood. I accept that I'm mood. And so I don't force myself. So mood cheta, prakshami tvam dharma samhood cheta. In this dharma, I don't understand my dharma. What is my dharma? Sometimes with you also it happens. When you have to practice, it becomes mood because emotions, disturbance, mental mind is not very clear. Nishreyase nishchitam bruhitan me, sashyastiham mami swam tvam prapannam. Means now because I'm mood, so I accept I'm moodha, and I will follow whatever you say blindly. So sometimes when you have some situation that mind is not able to help you to practice, or there's no motivation, or many distractions, many desires, many mental thoughts are distracting you. So it means you have to understand right now the state is mood his state. The first thing what you have to do is what Arjun is doing. Same thing you have to do. What? Understand I'm mood and accept I'm mood today. And the second thing what he's saying, Sashyastiham mam tvam prapannam. I am dedicated to your words, whatever you will say. He's saying to Krishna. So you guide me. So sometimes when you have such situation, without judging, without asking any question, your main dharma at that time for everyone is just to follow the instructions given by any master. Doesn't matter. Only this is what everyone should do at that time. They should not try to, to sit. First of all, surrender, understand, surrender, and follow without any judgment. Will it work or not? Or why it is not working? Even this question should not arise. At that time, this is what you have to do. Once the practice will start entering, become sadhana, this mood will move to a vikshipta, and this vikshipta will turn into ekagra. So this is what everyone should do. That's why sometimes blindly following the technique helps in such situation, because not every day is the same. Not every day you are ekagra. Not every day, not everyone actually. Sometimes for many advanced sadhak also, it happens. It happens with everyone. So this is the key. At that time, you don't need to try to, for example, you are breathing, nadi shodhan. Some days your nostrils are blocked. One is blocked. This is also one of the question was. One block, one open. Yesterday was both open. So you're very much focused and very much nicely enjoying it. But today one is blocked. And now demotivation comes. Oh, this nostril is blocked. My breathing is very heavy now. Or I'm not able to breathe deeper. And the thought came, and because you started comparing, that's why first time I said there's no comparison. There's no comparison with others, neither there's a comparison with your own self. Sometimes people, if they don't compare with others, they are comparing themselves. Previous practice. Oh, yesterday was very good. Why not today? Why it should be today? Because yesterday there was a rain. Why today should be the rain? And so at that time, when you see that nostrils are blocked, breathing is not the same as. So it's a good chance actually, because now you have an opportunity to understand how today it should be, which way you can make the same practice effective. So today nostrils are blocked, increasing the speed a little bit and work the same way. And that's how you master. All variations you learn this way only, because these are the situations. Because not until you are not fully mastered with your own energy body, your body will react to the nature. Whatever change happens outside will affect your inner nature also. That's why Dvandva Abhighat, your body will fight and react to outer nature. And then once you have a mastery, then Dvandva Anabhighat. Anabhighat means now there will be free flow, means you will have a full mastery. There's no change, or you can change based on according to your own need. So pranayam sadhana is like this. Means in the beginning there will be so many challenges. With me also it used to be a lot. Demotivation. Sometimes breathing is not heavy. Sometimes sleep is coming. A lot of sleep is sometimes boring. Same practice. Why people are not practicing Nadi Shuddha in today's time? Boring practice. Actually, why we like aggressive pranayam? Why Kundalini yoga or Tantra sadhana kriya yoga people like? Because more effortful practices, aggressive breathing, fast breathing, or many intense where physically you are involved more. So we like mostly the practices where physically we are involved. Why today's time asana are more famous and everyone trying to do asana, or we know yoga as asana, not as a dhyan, because we are more involved physically. We are more active physically, and we want to have experience physically first, which is completely true. Fine, also. But because we are more, first of all, attached to this. Second, because we are not very trained with internal practices. Higher practices are more lighter and lighter, effortless. It should be minimum muscular. There's a one explanation about asana. What is the asana and what is other vyayam? There's a two things. Today, asana became vyayam. There's a one word in Hindi called vyayam, and there's another word called asana. Today, yoga practice, if we practice asana, it became vyayam. In English, it's translated as an exercise. Vyayam means when there's a maximum muscular effort, and asana means when there's a minimum muscular effort. This is called asana. There's a difference between, MME, asana, minimum muscular effort. So any place, anywhere, when the muscular effort is minimum, it means you're doing asana there. But if effort muscularly more, it means it's a vyayam. Nothing is wrong. Vyayam is good actually for physical body, but not asana. It is simply as a physical exercise, which is completely fine and very beneficial, but cannot be asana. Is it clear? You understand what I'm saying? So that's the difference between asana. In a ashram, when our teacher used to explain, I completely agree, because when it comes to explanation on words, for example, what is asana meaning is asyate aste anena va iti asana. When we describe it as a Sanskrit explanation, asana means something, for example, in which you are sitting. For example, right now, when you are doing pranayam, you are sitting on bolster, you are sitting on chair, maybe you are sitting on maybe blanket, you are sitting on something, or maybe yoga mat. So in which you are sitting, this is called asana. And actually, the word in a yoga, the physical exercise, why it is named as asana. In India, asana means the object in which you sit or you sleep. This is called asana. And this statement, this word used to be explained, or this word used to be used in early time. This not as a physical workout. It used to be like this. For example, if someone is coming to your house, guest, so you used to say, like people used to say in early time, please take your asana. That used to be a sentence. Means basically it means to sit, but sit in somewhere in proper place. But the statement in Sanskrit, it used to be, please take your asana. But today, if you use the same word, please take your asana, so someone who doesn't know, he will say, take your asana. Means which asana? Trikonasana? I should do Trikonasana? I should do which asana? But it used to be, take your asana means you sit, you please sit on something which is comfortable. So that used to be a phrase in India before. हम लोग ऐसे बोलते थे, आसन आसन में पधारें, आसन में बैठ जाएं, something like this. And because of that, that statement in yoga, the asana word entered. So physical exercise which you do, the name of why it's called asana, because in India, ancient time, and in Sanskrit, to sit quietly on comfortable platform, this is called asana. So it means this body is also an object, and soul or the mind is inside, needs to be sit quietly. And for that, you should have that comfortable environment, So that is the reason this physical body and this physical body should be in certain position in which the mind is quiet and calm. Same as if some guest will come to you, you will provide them maybe chair, good chair. You want them to sit relaxedly, or maybe sofa. You will tell, okay, please sit on sofa because that is more comfortable. Similarly, this body is imagined like a sofa. So you have to make this body as that object which is, having that stable position. So that's why it's called asana. So, and that's why you are doing asana all, because you have to, you are trying to make your body. For example, now when you sit long, now you can sit longer actually, because many reasons. Because first of all, I'm keep trying to tell you, I'm keep saying the same thing, sit quiet, don't move. So because of the discipline, you are building the strength that you can sit quietly. And that is called, actually you are doing here not only pranayam, you're doing asana also. This is how it should be. If you say, so if you do Trikonasana, it should be quietly in Trikonasana, not changing, minimum muscular effort, as I said. And if it is maximum muscular effort, keep pushing, it's a vyayam right now. आप व्यायाम कर रहे हैं, कोई आसन नहीं चल रहा है यहाँ पे. You're not doing any asana right now. You're not doing any yogic practices. It is a pure vyayam. That's why every dynamic practices is a beginner practices. Ashtang, whether it is advanced asana involved in this dynamic flow, it is considered as a vyayam, because maximum muscular effort. But keep on doing. If you will build this strength, and then physically you'll train yourself that much where you can make yourself, stable and not use too much muscular effort, it becomes asana. So here also, minimum muscular effort you have to do, then it becomes you are in asana. That's why here actually you're not trying to move. That's why I'm saying here, make yourself comfortable and then don't move. So minimum muscular effort you're doing asana here, and which is required for pranayam, because that's the foundation. So the techniques which is more aggressive, we are tend to do it more because we like it, because we are, it means if someone is liking certain techniques in pranayama, which is aggressive breathing, like Kapalbhati, if you like Kapalbhati, if you like Bhastrika, and if you don't like Nadi Shodhan, if you don't like Ujjayi, if you like Brahmari, if you like any kind of practices which is more physically you are involved and more outer experiences you are trying to seek, it means your mind, this is the way to understand my mind is still Vikshipt mind or Kshipt mind, not Ekagra mind. But if you started enjoying and if you started being in that place when I'm saying you focus on the breathing, elongate it, like where there's no physical effort, hands are moving there, holding breath, these are beginner practices because holding breath is a challenge and mind like challenges. We like challenges. It means still vikshipt mind. And pranayam happens when mind is ekagra. You must understand very clear here. Pranayam, expansion of prana, happens, means the aura expansion, more gross way. If you want your aura to expand, if you want energy to expand freely, it happens when the mind is subtle, sattvic, you know, pranaya, there's one sutra. Pranayamen tatah kuryat nityam satvikaya dhiya. Dhiya means buddhi. Dhiya. Dhi means buddhi actually. That's why it's called samadhi. Ashtanga yoga samadhi is over. What is the meaning of samadhi? Samadhi. Dhi is a word in Sanskrit used for buddhi. Buddhi means your intellect. Right now, buddhi, your intellect is not sam. Sam means equal, equanimous. Sam means equanimous. Right now, pain comes. Oh my God, this is a pain. Pleasure. Oh, I don't want more. So it's not sam, right? It's not equal. When pain and pleasure becomes equal, it's called samadhi, actually. Very easy explanation. Sam becomes some. What some? Adi. Adi means buddhi. Your intellect becomes some now. So same way, the sutra, nityam satvikaya dhiya. Dhiya means buddhi. When buddhi becomes nityam satvik, satvik means very ekagra. Very ekagra and sukshma, subtle. So then pranayam happens. That's the sutra before pranayam. Means when the question is, recently there was a question. Why I'm explaining this because question was there that when to feel that my pranic body is expanding because you can't see the energy. You can't see, you can't feel it because until you're not very much there, you can't feel. How to know that it's happening? You will start knowing when buddhi, when let's say mind is very quiet, sattvic, means for example, if you are breathing nadi shodhan and you can even your mind is not going out from that flow, you can feel, oh, now I took my inhale, it's going deeper, deeper, that much. Mind is grabbing every single inhalation and the speed, it's connected completely. It means now buddhi is very sukshma. Now your all other senses are not receiving any outer experiences. It means now pratyahar is happening. When pratyahar start happening, this is called expansion of prana. Expansion is not prana. Prana does not mean that when you can hold the breath for 1 minute. Sometimes we misunderstand. Okay, Nadi Shodhan is holding the breath longer. Oh, I can hold the breath for 2 minutes. Oh, pranayam is happening. No, it's not like that. First of all, minimum muscular effort. Second thing, if you can feel the pressure of the body, it means outer experiences are more right now. So it means some pleasure you want. Oh, I can hold. This is also ahamkar. Mano, there's one Sankaracharya Krit. Mano buddhi ahankar chittaninaaham. Man, buddhi, ahankar. Ahankar is also, ego is also one. Sometimes that's why pranayam fuels the ego. Because I can hold the breath in Nadi Shodham for 2 minutes. Oh my God, I'm a very great practitioner. Or I can do Kapalbhati for 500 rounds. Oh, very great practitioner. Or I can do longer breathing. I can sit in meditation for long. I'm a great practitioner. These things comes actually. So one to understand when the mind is quiet, sukshma, and every single breath and the flow, you are there. Then expansion of prana is happening. Then the pranayam is happening. Before that, efforts is there. So pranayam is not happening. You're training your body and you're trying to reach that energy body. And then you become a healer. Today, everyone is healer, especially in the West. Someone who knows little technique becomes a healer. So healer happens when the mind is very sharp and can catch every single breath, every moment. For example, right now when I'm talking to you, I'm fully aware what is the speed of my breathing, what is the intensity, and even not only this, but it's a long training. Not only this, right now while talking, because breath has a different flow. Sometimes it is straight, sometimes it is different direction diagonally, sometimes urdhva upward, means when you are breathing, your breathing is not always straight. If you will there was one webinar I took, swara yoga. There I was trying to explain, when you are, for example, if you place the hands, everyone place the hands in front of you, do like this, and now exhale. Few times you exhale, few times. So first of all, if you will exhale, many of you will notice that your exhalation is more downward direction, means the air is flowing down, means touching maybe the lower arms. Some of you may feel it is touching maybe the center palm. Some of you may feel it is touching maybe upper. Yeah. How many of you feeling on the center palm? Raise the hands. See, many of. How many of you feel lower, below the wrist? See, many of you, right? See, everyone is different. Your breathing is not the same. And it will not be the same, right now if you're touching lower hand, it maybe if you try in the evening, it will be upper. It changes actually. It's a very deep science. Pranayama is, it's not just about the breathing workout. It's a very interesting subject. So and actually this flow tells us what is the state of the mind and which element is dominant. It's a completely different subject, but I'm just telling you this because it's you will start noticing it. And when you start noticing what is the flow, for example, why I'm talking to you right now, how my flow changed means the air speed and the flow, the direction changed. I recently, not so long, but recently, since few years, I started noticing when it changes. But before that, nothing. So you will start noticing, oh, now it's changing. Oh, which element is now dominating? And based on the element, your mind is changing also. Thoughts, space element, more foggy, means thoughts are there, but you're not able to pick which one. Sometimes air element is dominant because you are elemental body. Panchabhutas, five elements, they will play the role. Sankhya Yoga explains the same. Which element is dominant? Based on this, your mental state, mind will be there. And if whatever the mental state you will have, the physically you will act accordingly, right? If you're mentally ekagra focus, you'll be doing constantly actions, focus. If mind is not focused, which element? Maybe if, the earth element, more you will be grounded and desired at that time. More desire, wanting, whether it is physical desire or mental desire, doesn't matter. Both are same, wanting. So based on the elements. So pranayam, what it does is, first of all, it makes your mind very quiet. So you can have a full understanding about which element. And because you have understanding of it, you can change it also based on the flow. So that is later. And when you have this healing process, that becomes a healer. Then, right. So that all happens when mind is sattvic and quiet. And that's why you're trying to stabilize your physical body. Physically, you are trying to stabilize because once you are physically stable, it becomes asana. Now you will be able to understand what is going on. That's why if you are liking advanced practices, that means you are Vikshipta right now. You have to practice more and more. If you started liking easy practices, if you're liking, okay, now you just want to see the breath, I like this, watching the breath, it means mind is becoming ekagra. अभी धीरे धीरे आ रहा है पकड़ में. So इसलिए उस that's why you shouldn't seek for many techniques. It means you're making your mind more and more vikshipta and vikshipta and vikshipta. So if you think that you have to learn so many techniques, it means mind is vikshipta. And you are making your mind vikshipt more. Imagine you are going to the mall, so many shops. So many shops means so many options, right? So you went for buying the shoes, but you end up buying other things also. And even sometimes not the thing which you went for. So sometimes it happens, no, that you went for maybe buying watch, but you end up buying t-shirt also, end up buying something else also. But if you go only one shop outside of mall, only watch, so you'll be buying watch. So minimum options. So actually, advanced practitioners means minimum techniques, and beginner practice means maximum to understand where it can click. So all the techniques which you are learning, you should not, because that is the answer of the question sometimes when you're asking that recordings will be available or not. Because if the recording will be available for whole time, many options, because every day is different. So you'll be, oh, this technique. That's why minimum limited. And that's why I'm connecting all the techniques together. So you are at the end having a series to practice and you have to continue the same way. Minimum. Let's get ready. Sit straight, quiet.